So we're talking about interacting with signs. And in this particular world, this world is about area and volume. It's one that's already been prepared, and it's one that you can assign just exactly as it is to your students. In this world, you can see, and get a little closer here, this right here is a slate. It's a small sign, but it's blank. It sits in front of these objects. And because I know that volume equals length times width times height, and my teacher probably gave me directions, I am to calculate what that is and then enter that information right here on the slate, because this is a slate that's been left for me and is interactive. So in order to edit, I can check my clue in the lower right-hand corner and see that I right-click to edit. I noted that this was too tall by too high by too deep. And 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8, so that equals 8 cubic units. And I am done with my work, and there's my answer. And that's one way that I can interact with signs on this particular sign called a slate. And again, I can do that again, but you don't need to see me repeat that. It's a fine example of how to use an interactive sign within a world. Lots of signs can be interactive, but we choose not to make them interactive. This one you see here from the movement tutorial is a very large sign, and this one is called a board. I always think of billboard because it is the largest sign. You can put a lot of content on this, but this one is not interactive. If I were to right-click on it, it would not allow me to edit it, so it's not serving as an interactive sign, but it could. I could have made that choice. So this one has remained locked by the person who put it there. So now let's go into our inventory and add the different kinds of signs that we can put in our classroom, or I'm sorry, into our world. We can put them in a world that we're creating, or we may choose to add these signs to a world that is already existing, a pre-established world. We'll talk about that in our 103 sessions. To get into our inventory, we're going to tap on the E. And the first one that we're going to use is simply a sign. It's not interactive. I want you to see the difference. It doesn't matter which one you choose, so I'm just going to choose the first one, an oak sign. Click, and then click to add it to my inventory. This first smallest interactive sign is called a slate, S-L-A-T-E. There it is. There's just one version of it. Click and click. Now it's in my position 2. My second interactive sign is slightly larger than the slate, and this one is called a poster. Almost forgot there. And again, just one version of it. Tap and put it in my position 3 in my inventory. And finally, we have the very large one called a board, like a billboard, B-O-A-R-D. Again, just one version of that. Click and click to add. So these 3 are interactive. There was just one version of them. The first one here is a sign, and it's not interactive. So if I have number 1 in my hand, which I do, and I want to place it somewhere, I'm going to make sure I have those black outlines at the place in which I want to place the sign, and I simply right-click to place it there. It opens up, and this is a sign not interactive. Boom. All right. And to get out of it, I just click out of it. I'm going to move to the right a little bit, and I'm going to place now a slate so you can compare the size and you can see how it's interactive. Okay, I want to make sure that I can still see the black outlines, and I want to make sure that slate is in my hand. So I make sure that I have tap 2, and I have. I can place it with my right click, and this is a slate. Terrific. Tap the X in the upper right hand corner. You can see this takes up 1 cubic unit, as does the sign that's not interactive. It takes up 1 cubic unit also. Now I'm going to move to the right a little bit, and this time we're going to place what's in position 3, which is the second or the middle size interactive sign. Put that in my hand, right click to place it, and this is a poster. And you'll observe when I close it that it actually takes up 2 cubic units across. Just 1 cubic unit high, but 2 cubic units across. Just good to keep in mind as you're building and designing things. course, you know what's going to come next, and that's our third largest interactive sign. Again, these signs don't have to be interactive. You may keep them locked so they're not interactive, but it's nice to know you have that option. So if I make sure that I tap on position 4, I've got a board or billboard in my hand. I right click to place it and it opens right up. This is a board. Boom. You'll see how much space that text takes up. Let me cross that. So I could have put a whole bunch of information on there. You'll see some other samples of boards throughout your shopping when you go through worlds. And these are a great way to get input by kids, have them provide you with directions, have them give you some feedback. By the way, you're noticing how much larger this one is. It is 2 units high and 3 units across, just in case you need to plan. All right, thanks for joining.